So based on a post recently, it seems like Cardano, it's so close to a major upgrade. And I'll talk about the price of ADA later, which went down around 4% in the past 24 hours. But it doesn't change the fact that Cardano seems to be closer now than ever before to the Van Rossum hard fork, which could very well bring a lot of security upgrades in regard to Cardano, and it's really going to set it up for an even bigger upgrade moving forward. I'll explain that in today's video, even though nothing I say is financial advice and I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Now, Intersect just made a post saying Van Rossum hard fork update. When it comes to the voting status, guess what? When it comes to DREPs, which actually stands for delegated representatives, that's already cleared. I already talked about that, right? It needed 60%. We saw 76.81%, so it's cleared that one. Now, if we take a look at SPOs, which basically are the pool operators, it needed 51%, but clearly, we take a look at this post, 52.76%. So that's done. So in terms of DREPs, and again, these pool operators, it's already good to go. So what's remaining as of right now? It's actually the Constitutional Committee. Basically, it says 4 constitutional, 3 yet to vote, 1 more constitutional or an abstain required. So if we take a look at that right there, we're so close. 2 out of the 3 key voting categories has already passed. So we're just waiting for 1 more category. That's it. So we're so close, right? When it comes to the Van Rossum hard fork. Now people like to say, well, who cares about this upgrade, so to speak? Well, let me just clarify. If this upgrade were to happen, right, it's going to enhance the security when it comes to Cardano, just like I mentioned earlier on in this video. But actually the real McCoy, so to speak, the real thing that could very well happen as a result of that is that it's going to set up Cardano for an even bigger upgrade moving forward. That could very well bring something called Leos. Now, when it comes to Leos, the testnet already happened not too long ago. So it's really nothing new, but if we take a look at Leos, the mainnet is something that we're still looking forward to. In which case, again, the Van Rossum hard fork, if it were to happen, it could very well set up Cardano for an even larger update moving forward. That could very well bring Leos into actual fruition, right, into the actual mainnet. So think about Van Rossum as just kind of the foundation, so to speak. That's just the way to take a look at it. It's kind of like laying down the foundational piece or the foundational, I guess, support for Leos moving forward. Leos is the real McCoy here. Van Rossum hard fork, it's just kind of the, I guess, preliminary thing to set it up for Leos. But if Leos were to happen, keep in mind, it's going to bring amazing scalability when it comes to Cardano, allegedly. So when people like to say, well, who really cares about this update? Well, I think a lot of people do. Now, I mean, sure, the price charts are going down when it comes to ADA, so it's easy to say that, oh, no one really cares about this upcoming upgrade. But at the same time, what could happen is, as a result, moving forward, especially for the long term, it could improve Cardano greatly, especially through Leos. But then again, we need this to happen first, right? So it's not 100% for sure happening as of right now when it comes to the Van Rossum hard fork, but it's so close. It's so close, though. Again, right, this is just based off the update, but if it were to happen, it could really do wonders when it comes to Cardano fundamentally. It won't necessarily affect the price charts because that's going to be dependent on a larger or broader change in market sentiment, I should say, but it's going to improve the fundamentals when it comes to Cardano greatly. In which case, think about this, right? If the Van Rossum hard fork is going to bring amazing security when it comes to Cardano, and then if, let's say, Leos were to happen moving forward in terms of the mainnet, and that brings amazing scalability, that right there has already kind of covered 2 out of the 3 main criterias that developers and institutions often care about, because they often care about security and they often care about scalability. So through Van Rossum, the hard fork, right? And through Leos, if it were to even happen, or if, let's say, both were to ever even happen, but I'm just saying, if they both were to happen, what happens is that Cardano is suddenly going to become a lot more viable. It's going to make it a lot more appealing to these developers and institutions That's the thing. So this is so massive when it comes to Cardano, and as we do know, right? If let's say Cardano has better enterprise adoption, more developers care about this as a result of Van Rossum in terms of the hard fork, and also as a result of Leos, if they both were to even happen, what happens is if these developers build something on Cardano that gains popularity, automatically it's going to bring Cardano along with the ride. So it's not a bad thing overall, in my opinion. I know some people like to say, well, who cares about this? But I think it could matter, especially for the long term in regard to Cardano. Now, people like to say, but yeah, ADA is still at around 16 cents. It's below 16 cents actually. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is at around 60 grand. What do they expect this to do? To randomly go on a rally of its own? No, sir, that's not going to be the case, right? I mean, that's not how it works when it comes to this space. ADA is currently ranked 15th in the world in terms of market cap. This can't randomly go on an independent rally of its own if the market isn't doing the best. Cardano, in a pure random hypothetical, if it were to announce a partnership with Justin Bieber, who knows? I'm just saying in a hypothetical. Even that wouldn't move the price charts in any sort of significant way. Just because the market doesn't operate like that. Like, typically, when it comes to the space, in terms of the market, you know, if a project does really amazing things, if the market isn't doing the best, it's just not going to do much when it comes to the price charts. It's a little bit different than in the case of stocks, because if let's say like a company in real life does really amazing, let's say the net income is looking fantastic, let's say they don't have much debt, let's say the profit margin is looking wonderful, usually we see it affected when it comes to the price charts in regard to stocks, right, in a pretty positive way, but it doesn't really operate that way when it comes to this space. So it's a different market segment. It's a different market, basically. But hey, you know what? I don't mind. I'm not telling anyone to do anything, though. But seeing the Van Rossum hard fork being so close to happening, I'm so excited when it comes to that. Now, granted, when will it exactly happen? There's no way to tell as of right now because there's just still one more thing left to go. Basically, they need to clear the Constitutional Committee side of things. So if that does clear, then, you know, Van Rossum hard fork, it could very well be good to go. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. I get it. People like to say, but yeah, the price charts are not looking the best. But this goes far beyond the price charts. And given at a time when the market isn't doing the best, stuff like this at least keeps me entertained. At least it's something for me to care about. Imagine if Cardano had like 0 updates going on for it. And then let's say the price charts are not looking good. Then that's like game, set, match. That's game over, basically. I mean, at that point, why would I believe in this? But at the same time, because I'm still seeing updates, I'm still seeing potential upgrades, then I don't mind seeing the price charts be low because I really don't mind the dip. That's the thing. But on the flip side, though, I still want to see updates and upgrades when it comes to a project, so I'm not going to complain. Now, keep in mind, we're around 6 times lower than $1, basically. We saw $1 very casually, like last year, when it comes to ADA. It wasn't anything that special, but as of right now, we're around 6 times lower than that. Keep in mind, $1 was considered quite bad when it comes to this not too long ago, but now we're around 6 times lower than that. So it's kind of ridiculous, right? I mean, we're around 6 times lower than a previous point in which wasn't even considered that good anyways. But hey, you know what? Seeing the potential of a Van Rossum hard fork and seeing how that could maybe allow for the mainnet of Leos moving forward, and the kind of laying down the groundwork and foundation basically for that, yeah, I think it's something that surprises me. I think it's pretty impressive. I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but I'm still holding. I'm still waiting. But other than that, I can't really do anything else. But seeing this right here, I'm pretty impressed. But I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward. So I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very spectacular day.